Shane Walsh, congratulations. You have a Leinster medal in your back pocket. Did you ever think you'd be able to say that?
Well, I suppose in the last couple of months I would have been thinking about it, but I suppose, look, it's all comes down to the work we've been doing together in training, and that started before the Timpolo game, and it's carried right through now. So look, it's just a great place to be in. I suppose the club itself, to do Leinster back-to-back as well as the Dublin back-to-back, like, it's huge for the club as well. So the hurlers are obviously unfortunate today, but look, hopefully we can we'll enjoy this one, and the next couple of weeks get back down to training and look forward to an Ireland semi-final.
And how would you assess the game today? Obviously you kicked 9.6 in the first half and you went in at half time, a good lead, you were very comfortable, but then they came at you in that second half.
Yeah, I think probably the start probably helped us settle, and especially with the experience of the lads as well, using from last year as well. I think that was probably massive for us, that we kind of built the momentum and we kept control of the game, and we probably never let them get a foothold in the game in the first half, and that set us up lovely at half time. So you went in 10 or 11 points up at half time, you dream of that kind of stuff, like when you're in that scenario. But look, there was things obviously in the second half we had to work on, but look, you have to give your dues to the Downs as well. They kept plugging away, and they obviously had a big support there as well. You could hear them getting behind them as they were kicking the scores in the second half. So yeah, look, we Leinster finals are never going to be one easy. You have to put a lot of work into it, and I know sometimes the scoreboard doesn't reflect that always, but like, everyone works their socks off there today, and even the lads, great to see Wardy get in there for a few minutes as well. That was I'm sure that was his debut there as well. So it's great for those kind of lads to be getting that game time in, and look, we're trying to build all the way along, and again we'll be building the next few weeks again.
And some of the points you scored, one or two of them were identical to the frees you would have took for Galway in the All-Ireland final out by the sideline. I
think I'm cursed with 9 points. The lads are saying to me they're out there as well. So look, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. If someone that says to me probably the last few minutes you're on 9, I'll try and beat it just for the sake of it. But Park was the one that always reminds me. He kicked 10 in the All-Ireland final back in 2001. So but yeah, look, it's great. The main thing is I've been played well in games before and we've lost, so the main thing is the team performance is good enough there to win today, and look, you're happy to kick a few scores as well. That's part of my job as well in the team, so because there's other lads there that do the unseen work, I suppose, and that they're the ones setting the chance up for me as well. So no, it's great.
So you have a chance now to go on, obviously, an All-Ireland semi-final and then a potential All-Ireland final if you get over that hurdle. So is that in the back of your mind to be playing in that?
Well, look, the All-Ireland semi-final is the next step. That's the one we're going for. There's nothing else that matters, because we can't play an All-Ireland final until we win a semi-final. So whoever comes through, we'll do our homework the same as what we've always done all the way along. We'll do our homework on the next day, and we'll see who comes out of that game and prepare for that game. Hopefully get over that game, and then we'll look at something if we're there. But if we don't put in a performance in the All-Ireland semi-final, we're not going to be there. So we know that ourselves. But look, it's a great place to be in. The fact that we're able to go into Christmas, looking forward to an Ireland semi-final in January. So it's great.
Your bus is waiting, but I have one last question. So you won a senior championship, a Leinster championship. These are things you'd never done before. So how would you, I suppose, reflect on it?
Look, I suppose it's just an opportunity really for a medal as well. I'm not blessed with a whole pile of them throughout my career, unfortunately. But I'm just delighted to be able to get a chance to play the game I love playing, to be playing competitive football in December. It's the stuff I would have been dreaming of. So, along with playing an Ireland final day with Galway. So, look, it's great. It's a great place to be in. I'm enjoying it all the way along. I said, anytime I'm playing football, I'm always going to be enjoying it. If I'm not playing football, that's probably why I'm not enjoying it. So, it's great to have that complaint that you're training week in, week out, and look, it's an enjoyable experience, I suppose, for me. And it is I suppose I never saw this probably coming a couple of years ago, but it's just been a great place to be in now, that the fact that I'm here training with Kilmacud and the lads here trying to get me going. But look, it's just been great, so please God we just keep it going.
Well done. I think you need to go enjoy the celebration, Shane. Thanks a lot. Shane, congratulations. Do you want to hold up the cup there?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be Leinster champions?
Yeah, look, to do back-to-back is a really tough achievement. We're really, really proud of doing back-to-back, and coming into Leinster campaigns. You can get caught in the hop very easily, and thankfully we didn't this year. It was a very tough test, and coming up against tough teams, and thankfully we came out on top.
You had a pretty easy enough first half, I would say, but in the second half they definitely tested you.
Yeah, and look, our game plan has been kind of structured around a few key principles, and in the first half we kind of executed them very well, and it gave us a good lead at half time. We knew they'd throw the kitchen sink at us at half time, and it was the same against Port Ireland, and they threw the kitchen sink at us in the second half. And we have a bit of experience now in Leinster. We got caught in 18 and we've really learned from that, so hopefully we can kick on.
And last year, obviously, the hurt from losing to Kilkerrin here in Croke Park in that All-Ireland final, is that in the back of your minds?
Yeah, look, it's for any club player, I've said it before, winning a Club All-Ireland is ultimately the aim. You can't kind of think about that kind of coming into a game, but definitely it's there in the back of your mind that that's what you want to achieve. Personally, for me, it's definitely a motivating factor. That was one of the toughest days of my life, so kind of getting back there to try and mend that and kind of heal that scar is definitely a motivating factor.
And what has Shane Walsh added to this team? Obviously he scored 9 points there today, so we see it on the pitch, but I suppose overall, what's he added to the team?
Yeah, like you touched on it there, the 9 points he got today is speaks for itself. But and I think I've mentioned it before, the kind of impact he's made throughout the club, volunteering his time has been excellent. But I think Shane Horan mentioned during the week, tactically he's very good, and just sitting around training, he raises the standards. Like when he came in, everyone was excited. You're nearly trying to prove yourself to Shane Walsh, to prove how good you are to him all over again, like that kind of way. So he's raised the standards, no doubt about it.
And you'll hope to go on now and get back to that All-Ireland final?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we'll enjoy tonight. I think, look, you kind of play sport to enjoy moments of this. So we'll enjoy tonight. We'll enjoy tomorrow, and then come Tuesday, we'll get refocused and we'll see who we're playing in the All-Ireland semi-final.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
Thanks a million.
Yeah, Robbie, congratulations. You're absolutely freezing, but I'm sure you don't mind. Leinster champions once again.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Back-to-back Leinster champions has a nice sound to it, and not something we really went after at the start. It was just about getting out of Dublin, but now that we're here, we're delighted to have done it. Yeah.
And how would you assess the performance today?
It was good. It was good, controlled at times. I think we hit a worrying patch again in the second half where we struggled for about a 10 or 12. Now, conditions were tough, but put ourselves under pressure there, and as I say, they outscored us there in the second half. But still, the lead built up to be able to see it through.
Yeah, very much a dominating performance in that first half. And I suppose going in at half time, what did you say to the players? Because you had that lead at that point. The Downs had only scored 1 point.
Yeah, and we were conscious of the All-Ireland final last year. We were in a similar position and winning well. So we just decided to stick with the same game plan and try and go after it and play a bit of football in their half as opposed to our half. And for most of the second half, we did that.
And Shane Walsh, he scored 6 points in that first half, 3 in the second, 9 points overall. Just a brilliant performance.
Yeah, listen, he's phenomenal. He has that in him, and Croke Park obviously suits him. So delighted for him. But he did some work on the back foot as well for us, which probably goes unnoticed. But delighted for him. Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, he has that Leinster medal now in his back pocket. What has he added, I suppose, overall to the team? Obviously, we see what he does on the pitch, but I suppose off the pitch too.
Oh, he's been brilliant for the club as a whole. Like he's at all the training sessions. He's trying to keep him from going to some stuff, to be honest with you. But he's just that type of guy. He leaves himself open to going and basically he's involved in everything we're doing there at the minute. So delighted we have him. Yeah.
And just speaking about the second half, how did you feel about it? I suppose in the end it was 3 points I think you scored. So I suppose not overly happy with that. There was a strong wind out there too.
Yeah, conditions were tough, but at the same time, and we missed 1 or 2 maybe. I think Shane had one off the post as well. But no, that's that sloppy period I was talking about for that 10 or 12 minutes where we just kind of drifted out of the game. So we'll have to make sure that doesn't happen the next day.
And looking ahead now to the All-Ireland semi-final, obviously you were in the All-Ireland final last year against Kilkerrin. That one just got away from you. I'm sure it still hurts.
Oh, it does. Yeah, you never forget those type of defeats, unfortunately. But look, I don't know. Had we won it, would we be here? I'm not so sure. You never know with these things. We'll take it game by game, and we'll see what January delivers. Yeah.
And a proud day for the club as well to be here with both teams.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I think on back of what the ladies have done. They've also won Leinster and obviously just pipped in the All-Ireland semi-final. But we'll have a good night back. The hurlers are coming back. We're coming back. I think the ladies team are back as well. So it should be a great night for the club.
Brilliant. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Lar, commiserations out there today, but a great fight in that second half especially.
Yeah, I suppose the game was probably gone and we went at it then and had a right cut. But listen, regardless of, we're still very proud of the lads. It was a difficult afternoon or evening, and we just came up against a superior, highly conditioned outfit that were very streetwise and really closed us down anytime we tried to get our game going. In particular in the first half against the wind. And yeah, we didn't give up. That was a key part to it, and we'll take plenty of learnings from it.
How did you feel going in at half time? Obviously it was just the one score on the board. Loughlin got that. There was a strong wind out there, difficult conditions. I don't know if people could see that really on the TV. There was a heavy rain as well, so you had to contend with all that too.
Yeah, like we opted to play with the wind in the first half, and well, we didn't win the toss obviously, but that was going to be huge. We needed to stay in the game. That was, I suppose, the target, try and stay in the game and be within touching distance at half time to give us a chance. Unfortunately we weren't. The goal suppose was came at a wrong time. We were containing them quite well up to that, but we were being turned over too many times. We attacked, and that just killed our momentum, and yeah, we weren't in a great place at half time. But listen, we battled well in the second half, and we brought back the scoreboard a little bit anyway, and possibly could have done a bit more as well, you know. But listen, that's the nature of it, you know.
Well, that's it, and you outscored them in the second half. Some great scores there, and unlucky, I suppose, to not have got more.
Yeah, like again, similar to the first half, it was kind of like the final ball. It was just letting us down, maybe a hand pass, and you know, a combination of maybe the conditions and, you know, obviously, you know, huge credit to Kilmacud Crokes. They're a top quality team, and I suppose it's them areas you really see that quality in terms of the tackling and how quickly they're able to close space, and they contribute to a lot of them scores that we missed. But at the same time, you know, I felt we could have got a few more, you know.
Yeah, I felt that Kilmacud, they were ferocious in their pressure. Yeah. Even like the full forward line, when you were breaking out with the ball, they were, you know, trying to push those turnovers and force them, and they were very good at that. What would you say are the main differences then that you saw out there today? Yeah,
well, I suppose it's easy, you know. Obviously Kilmacud are a really, really big club, and they've been at the top table for quite a few years at All Ireland series, and you know that brings, you know, a bit of streetwiseness, but also I think, you know, to put, you know, I think you hit the nail on the head, Aisling, to really put pressure on our, anytime they didn't have the ball, and their work rate is top class, was last year. They were lucky not to win in All Ireland, and you know, down to their work rate, I would say is top quality from their front six right the way out, you know, and that's probably the difference. But again, if you have a bit of momentum, if the game is tight, it can look different, you know.
I'm sure it's tough at the minute, but it's been some journey for the Downs, you know, to be here in a Leinster final. 50 years since the last one, I think 17 years since you won the Westmeath Championship. So, you know, it's an incredible journey, and you've been there to lead them, Lar.
Yeah, well, listen, as I said to the lads in there, you know, we're devastated tonight. I mean, you know, a lot of people were saying we're in bonus territory, and we don't buy that. Like, it's you know, when you arrive, you want to win, and you're very disappointed if you lose, and it has to be like that. But I suppose when we reflect back, it has been a really positive year, and please God, we'll take some learnings from today, you know, a harsh lesson, yeah.
You've been involved with quite a few teams. This has been hugely successful. You've had success before. Where would you rate this, I suppose, in terms of the team and the journey you've been on?
Yeah, it was for me personally. It's, you know, it was a fantastic year. Coming in, I had no real, you know, you just try and, you know, bring on players as best you can, and I think we clicked. I think, you know, they're a young group. They were very enthusiastic and had a great appetite for learning, and I suppose it just worked, and we got a bit of momentum, and that can happen, you know. So listen, it was a fantastic year for me, you know. Thanks, Ashley.
Luke, a tough day out there at Croke Park today, but look, you're here with your club in a Leinster final. Unbelievable to be here, but yeah, how did you assess the game?
Obviously, raging is the only word. Bad start killed us, you know. And personally, then as well, for myself, kicking a few eyes, and suppose as captain, you want to do your best, and when you don't perform, it's not nice. But look, kept going and never give up. I suppose you can kind of be proud of that, but. Maybe our journey in Leinster could be like our trying to win a championship in Westmeath. Took a few attempts, you know, so maybe we can use this experience and push on in the next few years, you know. Like, none of this is granted, like, you know, so it is hard work, and like getting out of Westmeath again is going to be tough, but if we can, maybe we can use it as a fuel or experience, or, you know, we'll be a year older, a year wiser again, so that's all you can do.
Yeah, because as you said, it was, I think, 17 years since you won that championship in Westmeath, so amazing to be here in a Leinster final. You know, that's stuff of dreams for clubs, and you were able to do it, you know, this small enough club in Westmeath. You know, it's incredible to be able to say that. Yeah,
well, like, it is, but when you're here, you want to win, and like the way we started, you don't think that that's going to happen. You never think that's going to happen, but obviously it does happen. It happens a lot, but all you can do is keep going. And look, this was all a bonus for us after we won the county title at Westmeath, and we just took it in our stride, you know. Like,
leaving the Downs today, I think there was 6 or 7 buses, you know, when we were leaving. Like, that's class to see. But we'll just have to try and do it again and go one step further. And obviously, Kilmacud are a savage team. Like, it's nothing to do with their club, it's their team. Like, they're so good, and they're just showing it there today. And we can just try and learn from them maybe a small bit. Just game management, we can get a bit stronger, you know, all these things. Look, I'm not going to assess it right now, but just enjoy tonight, and we'll come back again in the new year, hopefully, and with a new plan and go again.
Absolutely, you've had some journey this year. And going in at half time, obviously it was only the 1 point on the scoreboard, but you come out and you outscored them in that second half.
Yeah, Al Pacino, any given Sunday type stuff in the dressing room. Look,
was it? Tell us what they said.
No. I'm only joking, but definitely, look, we couldn't nearly believe it, but sure, all you can do is try your best, and like, you can be proud. Like, nobody can ask for anything more than your best, and sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't, and look, everything happens for a reason, and maybe that loss will drive us on a small bit more in different areas, like, because when you keep winning, you just patch over all the cracks. And I'm not saying we've had a great year, but when you win, you never look at the negatives. So hopefully this loss now will make lads look at where their weak points are, where they're going wrong, and we all can get better. We all can do things differently, and look, it's a learning curve. Look, and at the end of the day, it's a game of football. Tomorrow, everyone has work, everyone has lives. Move on. Look, it's going to be shit for a while, but look, if losing a game is the worst thing that's happened in your life, you're doing all right, you know.
Oh, this is it. Like, I hope you can look back on it positively, because you've had some year. Talton Cup, obviously, with Westmeath. Then you've won the championship in Westmeath. Here you are in a Leinster final. You've had a great journey yourself. So I'm sure in a few days' time, when it all sinks in.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's been a great journey, and it's obviously been well documented. But hopefully, the last few months can help a few other people that are going through a lot of stuff. Like, I found when I was in with Westmeath there, I was trying to help a lot more people, but I kind of got off that track the last while because I'd been focusing on myself and injured and stuff. But just as I said there, if the worst thing in your life is losing the game, you're doing all right, you know. So things are going great for me personally, and hopefully now I can try and help a few more people that are going through a lot of the similar stuff, because a lot of people are afraid to just share what they're going through because of kind of what people will think. But when you stop caring what people think, that's when life begins and you're kind of set free. So look, tomorrow's a new day.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See you later. It's good to see you again, alright?